Hello, everyone, this is CRH Films, and welcome to the 9th episode of The Last of Us series. A smuggler and a girl with immunity travel across the country during a zombie apocalypse. The last episode begins with shots of a forest and a pregnant woman with a frightened face running through it. She reaches a clearing where a dilapidated, time-worn shack stands surrounded by nature. The woman enters and calls out to the owners, but there's no response. Heading upstairs, she realizes her water has broken. Taking refuge in a room, she barricades the door with a chair. Contractions begin, and the situation worsens when someone breaks down the door. The woman brandishes a folding knife and awaits the unexpected guest. The door opens, and an infected person bursts into the room. The soon-to-be mother permanently pacifies the infected with several knife blows to the head. In the heat of the battle, she fails to notice the newborn baby. Cutting the umbilical cord, she notices a fresh bite on her leg. But before turning into a bloodthirsty monster, the mother cradles the just-born girl, whom she names Ellie. At night, 3 armed individuals approach the house. Among them is Marlon, the leader of the Fireflies. They quietly enter the building, scrutinizing every corner. On the second floor, they find the mother with the child and a slain zombie. Marlon recognizes her. The mother asks them to take care of the child and to shoot her before she transforms. Along with the baby, the woman hands over the folding knife. Marlon hesitates but is convinced by his companion. He takes the child and leaves the room, handing the baby to his assistant. Collecting his thoughts, the Firefly's leader returns to the room and pulls the trigger. The sound of the gunshot makes the baby cry. We are transported 15 years into the future. A more or less grown-up Ellie sits lost in her thoughts. She is called by Joel, who found some canned food and a board game, promising enjoyable evenings. Ellie doesn't immediately respond, clearly burdened by heavy thoughts. The duo reaches the final point of their journey, Salt Lake City. Joel mentions seeing a guitar in one of the cars and offers Ellie his services as a teacher. Ellie agrees, but not immediately. Her mind is clearly occupied with something else. Joel wants to discuss the next route, but Ellie interrupts him. To bypass an obstacle, Ellie suggests going higher and assessing the situation from a bird's-eye view. Joel, however, suggests creating an explosion. But in a moment, he clarifies that it was just a joke. Ellie's plan is deemed correct as the two enter a building under construction. Joel expresses dissatisfaction with the military's early pandemic response, as they didn't demolish buildings completely. Spotting a ladder leading higher, Joel proposes getting Ellie on it. However, the pensive girl doesn't immediately react to Joel's words. The smuggler helps Ellie climb to the next floor. The teenager begins to lower the ladder, but something else catches her attention, causing Ellie to abandon the ladder and run. Joel ascends, urging Ellie to stay put, but she insists he keeps up. Climbing even higher, Joel enters a room with a demolished wall. He tears off a couple of branches and hands them to Ellie for her to feed a giraffe. As the animal walks away, Ellie runs ahead. Joel is once again forced to catch up with the teenager. The duo reaches the rooftop, offering a magnificent view of nature reclaiming its space from human civilization, allowing animals to move freely. Joel expresses concern about the uncertainty that awaits them at the Fireflies camp. He suggests going back to his brother Tommy, but Ellie wants to finish the mission and give people a chance for salvation before returning to a relatively carefree life. The two descend and reach a military medical camp. Joel mentions there were thousands of such camps across the country, but they couldn't prevent the infection from spreading. In one of these camps, Joel's life was saved. He had a gunshot wound to the head, and it was not the bandits but himself who did it. After losing his daughter, Joel saw no reason to go on living. When he pulled the trigger, his hand trembled. The soldiers of the Fedra found and saved Joel's life. Ellie says time heals wounds, but Joel replies that his grief subsided during the journey with Ellie. After a heavy conversation, the duo continues. To lighten the mood, Joel asks Ellie to read some cheesy jokes from her favorite book. In their intense joy, Joel and Ellie fail to notice several armed men sneaking up behind them. Only when a flashbang grenade lands at their feet do the heroes become alert. The military doesn't warmly welcome Joel and Ellie. The smuggler regains consciousness in a hospital room. Marlene stands nearby, apologizing for the encounter. The patrol didn't recognize him. The leader of the Fireflies can't comprehend how they managed to traverse the entire country intact. While the Fireflies lost about half of their personnel in clashes with marauders and infected, Joel and Ellie remained unharmed. Joel inquires about Ellie's condition and requests to see her. Marlene says Ellie is fine, but he can't visit her as she is being prepared for surgery. Doctors believe that, as a child infected from birth, Ellie has a unique immunity. This offers a chance to find a vaccine, making the cordyceps safe for its carrier. However, since cordyceps resides in Ellie's brain, her survival chances after its removal are close to zero. These words infuriate Joel, but Marlene manages to calm him down. He pleads with Marlene not to do it, but saving humanity is far more important than the life of a teenager. She orders Joel to be taken out of the building, and if he tries anything, shoot him. Throughout the way, Joel stops to ask for the next route, but the Firefly soldiers aren't too pleased with it. It's all part of Joel's plan. During the next stop, Joel neutralizes one, shooting another in the leg. He interrogates him about Ellie's whereabouts, but not getting the required answer, Joel kills the man. The smuggler scavenges useful items from the corpses, knife, Ellie's belongings, weapons, and ammunition, and then returns to the corridor. Other Firefly soldiers, alerted by the gunshots, prepare to confront the intruder. Joel utilizes all his skills, injuring one through a window and performing a controlled shot. Another one immediately rushes in. Joel reloads his rifle and kills him. Around the corner, Joel faces several more opponents. One tries to run down the corridor while his comrade covers him. The third surrenders, but Joel shows no mercy. The fourth shoots from a room. Joel wounds him, but ammo runs out. A knife finishes the job. From the soldier's body, Joel picks up an assault rifle. On the way to the operating room, the smuggler generously equips himself with weapons and ammunition from the Firefly soldiers. Joel enters the room at the end of the corridor. Through the glass, he sees Ellie on the surgical table. The girl is already under anesthesia. Joel goes inside and orders the release of the girl. The surgeon grabs a scalpel, saying he won't give up humanity's last chance for salvation. After these words, Joel immediately shoots the doctor in the head. He orders the rest of the staff to step aside and then carries Ellie in his arms to the elevator. They descend to the basement and head to the car. Suddenly, Marlene appears. With a gun in hand, she explains to Joel that he won't always be able to take care of Ellie. Sooner or later, she will be torn apart by zombies or killed by marauders. Finding a vaccine offers a chance to rebuild the world everyone is used to. Marlene pleads to return Ellie, and in return, she is willing to forgive everything he has done, after which she lowers the gun. With tears in his eyes, Joel looks at Ellie. Sitting behind the wheel, Joel drives away. In the rearview mirror, we see Ellie slowly waking up from anesthesia. She asks what happened. After the grenade explosion, she remembers nothing. Joel says there were a couple dozen like her. All were examined by doctors, but finding a vaccine or any medicine was unsuccessful. After that, the Fireflies decided to stop the search. Ellie asks about her clothes. Joel has to come up with something again. The smuggler says bandits attacked the hospital, and he was only thinking about saving the girl's life. During his lie, Joel recalls what actually happened in the garage. He shoots Marlene in the stomach and then places Ellie in the car. He then returns and aims at the woman's head, arguing that the Fireflies will keep looking for the girl with immunity until someone knows about her existence. After these words, a gunshot echoes. A few kilometers before the checkpoint, the engine overheats, forcing the main characters to cover the remaining distance on foot. Along the way, Joel decides to open up to Ellie. He tells her about his daughter, Sarah, who died on the first day of the epidemic. Throughout the journey, Ellie's face clearly reflects doubts. Almost reaching the settlement, Ellie stops. She also wants to open up. Ellie talks about her first kill. She shot her friend Riley, who, unlike her, got infected. Joel tries to convince Ellie that she is not guilty, but the teenager interrupts and asks Joel to swear that everything at the hospital went as he told. Without hesitation for a second, Joel says he told the whole truth. She looks into his eyes and nods as if she believes. However, her eyes reveal that deep down, Ellie still doubts. This concludes the 9-episode journey, but the story of Joel and Ellie continues.